Monica's been talking about the accumulation. It's definitely some pretty crunchy snow right now. You can't even step on the ground. It's that thicker stuff. As you can see behind me, crews are responding to a house fire here on 5th and Grand Avenues. Now, when we first got here, there were a lot of flames coming out of that second story of the building. You can see firefighters are working their way up. We're actually here along Hollywood Boulevard in Los Angeles, along the Hollywood Walk of Fame. We're standing in front of someone who many people might know. It's Bob Hope, who is well known across the screen. But if you want to see one that, you know, is a lot cooler, I think my name would fit pretty well there, don't you think? Welcome back. I'm just getting a little grocery shopping out of the way myself. I got all the good stuff, especially this clam chowder here. You said lavender was your favorite, correct?
Lavender is, yes, that is one of my favorites.
Here really quick. Oh yeah, smells really good. That number is just under 16,000. Fast forward 10 years, that number's dropped down to 10,407. Today in April of 2019, milk cow herd numbers are just under 8,000. They're not as scary as you might think. Like the camera that Dr. Waits had, he's in here just kind of looking for anything out of the ordinary, like a polyp. A kind of like leader? Yes. Put your hand in here so you have control. What is something you can tell people who maybe have like thought about it but kind of want to maybe give it a try but are too scared? Well, can you believe it? We are still so excited for Chris Cruzy as he walks away in second place on the 15th season of The Voice. And guess who's here to join us? It's Chris himself. Hey guys, we're here in Los Angeles where it's a lot warmer than Wisconsin, you know, but I do hear Wisconsin weather's not that bad right now.
Yeah! Beautiful. Okay, then climb up higher, higher, higher. Yep, and then sit down. Yes! Woo. Hi.
How would you describe her personality?
Sassy. She'll tell you if she doesn't like something.
This blonde-haired little girl is nearly 2 years old. What's your favorite thing to do with her?
Take a hole in the feet.
And every milestone she hits is one her family doesn't take for granted.
She won't gain any more muscles. She will retain the muscles she has and improve on it, is what we're told.
Aubrey was diagnosed with spinal muscular atrophy in June 2017. It's a rare disease that affects her breathing, as well as her ability to eat and walk.
So there's 3 different types. She does have type 1. Life expectancy is 18 months to 2 years. We are at 20 months. She'll be 2 at the end of October. So every milestone we hit is amazing. She is, it's just been a blessing to us.
While her family takes in every day with her,
There you go. Good girl.
it has come at a cost. Spending money on shots and multiple doctor's visits, Deanne even quit her job to care for her around the clock.
She's pretty much our life now. Like it has changed dramatically. She's my full-time job right now.
But each day that passes has given the family hope there's more to come than what the doctors say.
It's really actually amazing because they've told us that she wasn't doing anything. Like it pretty much, we thought she was gonna lay there, and now she's rolling over, playing with her legs, chewing on her toes, holding her head up, starting to talk and beat on her brother and get him. But it's very special to see this stuff. Do you lay on the couch and snuggle with her?
Yeah.
Because Aubrey is a fighter, bringing her family closer together.
Did you just go on the side?
I wouldn't change it for anything, but we have our days. But then you look at her and it makes it all better. So she's still here, and that's what we have to be thankful for.
No, I've still got a lot of fire left in me.
What do you think the calf's thinking?
It tastes good.
A simple idea that starts small, as in just under 5 feet. What do you want to be when you grow up?
The farmer.
And continues to grow into a dream.
It's kind of a calling.
That calling, paving the way for generation
I've been basically farming my whole life here.
after generation.
I took over from my dad and basically did the same thing Derek did, and worked on the farm and realized that's what I wanted to do.
It's all to keep living the dream of being a small family farm in Wisconsin.
So a family farm is just when the family is on the farm working together.
Over the years, the farming reality has rapidly changed especially for small family farms.
We use a lot of the modern technology, like a robot to push the feed, automatic scrapers for the manure system.
But it's not just the technology that's changing. It's your neighbors and friends, the family farms that couldn't keep on going. Just ask Doug Nelson.
It used to be we had 5 farms within a mile here. Now I'm the only one in a 3-mile radius.
The Nelsons are one of those last few family farms standing over on Maple Road on the south side of Eau Claire. They've been farming this land since the 1880s, and with time comes a lot of change. Today they milk 200 cows in 2.5 hours, when they used to milk 50 in the same amount of time. If we take a look at the numbers, the number of milk cow herds in Wisconsin in April of 2004, that number is just under 16,000. Fast forward 10 years, that number's dropped down to 10,407. Today in April of 2019, milk cow herd numbers are just under 8,000. That's basically a 50% decrease in the last 15 years. So while numbers keep going down, small family farms are going to have to do something. So how do family farms like the Nelsons keep things going?
In the transition process, we had to get bigger in order to sustain 2 generations on the farm.
Getting bigger to stay small. The Nelsons are part of the changing definition of what we know as a small family farm today.
We're pretty much committed now. We built this new facility and keep it going, and you know, when I transition out of it and they take over, they can do what they want with it and make it bigger or whatever they want to do. But it's kind of nice keeping the family name in it, and I don't know if it's going to continue on after them, but you know, we'll see what happens.
However, like many farmers, in today's reality of farming, getting a second job is not unheard of. Miranda currently works as a dairy consultant.
Eventually, I would come home and work on the farm full-time, and getting up to a size that we can sustain our family off the farm would be ideal.
But while the industry goes through ups and downs, it's the people that continue to work night and day to make up what we call America's Dairyland.
Like I say, size really doesn't matter. It's usually family that's at the heart and soul of the operations.
Keeping the heart and soul in farming is just what the industry needs, especially from the younger generation, like 10-year-old Diesel, who was more than excited to feed some calves at his neighbor's farm in Chippewa Falls.
Can I have the bottle? I just like the animals, I like the big equipment.
Who just wants to get his hands in the game. What do you think it takes to be a farmer?
Oh, lots of hard work.
Wisconsin will maintain and be the dairy state, and the dairy economy will really drive our state. It just will be in a different aspect, and traditions change, and it's sad to see all these farms go, but as time moves on, you have to progress with the industry.
In Eau Claire, Abigail Hantke. What are you looking forward to most about working on a farm?
Oh, just feeding the cows.
WEAU 13 News.
I just had a gut feeling something was not right.
And something wasn't.
I remember right beforehand I asked, I was like, there's no way this could be cancer, right?
But it was. And an ultrasound in November 2016 led to the young mother's diagnosis a month later.
I believe you will be better soon. I love you.
On January 6th came around, and that was my hysterectomy. And they went in there and took out the uterus, and then they looked in the ovaries and found 2-inch tumors in both of the ovaries as well.
So I took a picture of me in the hospital.
So I remember coming to, and maybe an hour after, Dr. Larson came in and said, you know, you not only have endometrial cancer, you also have ovarian cancer.
But it wasn't the fact that Anna would lose her hair from chemo.
Do you remember Mom being bald? Who cut Mom's hair off? You did.
Or not be able to enjoy her favorite drink.
Day before chemo was the last beer I had before chemo, before that whole process.
It was the fact that her vision of expanding their family was gone in the blink of an eye.
The good days are starting to overpower the bad days, but there are still days when I sit here and I'm just like, what the hell happened? You know, like in a matter of hours, my choice to have more kids, like we wanted 3 or 4 kids, that was just taken away.
But with her upbeat personality and love from family and friends,
you can tell what a difference a year can make with hair.
Anna found a new passion to devote her time to get back at what took so much away.
I immediately saw the job description and said, Mark, this is, and I emailed it to him, and then I called him until he answered, and I said, this is what I want to do.
Anna is now the clinical research coordinator at Marshfield Clinic Health System in Eau Claire.
By me going back to work, and especially in the area of oncology research, it's kind of my way of saying, okay, cancer, you took a lot from me, but guess what? I'm doing things in the background here that's kind of going to get you back, you know? Karma's coming, cancer. Don't you worry.
According to the clinic, more than 50% of cancer patients are cured, largely due to laboratory and clinical research leading to the discovery of new cancer treatments.
Inevitably, that is true, but we're nowhere near where we need to be. So
Dr. Dean Del Mastro works with patients, a part of clinical trials, and says while participation is low across the country for them, the numbers have gone up in recent times.
The funders of research have realized that it isn't just the youngest and healthiest patients who unfortunately have cancer who need to participate in trials to test new therapies. It is the average person, and because we live in an aging world and cancer is more common as one gets older, many of our patients are in fact geriatric.
Being a part of a clinical trial was a goal for Anna.
You know, in a way, I wish that there would have been a clinical trial open for me, but there wasn't.
So she'll continue to work from behind the scenes.
I keep saying it's like, this is my way of sticking it to cancer, and I hope patients realize that too, that every time they sign up on a clinical trial, they're doing something that's going to help people in the long run.
So that way, people like her
That was quite the big kiss.
Can continue sticking it to cancer.
Oh, thank you.
Oh.
It was those few words
Fine, Lyle Edelman.
that local veteran Lyle Edelman couldn't help but say.
That is a beautiful airplane.
Doc is a B-29 airplane, one of only 2 left in the world that Lyle knew very well when he was in the Air Force in the 1950s.
God, that little window in the back is where I sat. And what it was, through 23 combat missions.
That's a good photo.
21 years old.
It's pretty interesting.
People ask me, they said, well, you were in the Korean War. I said, the closest I got to Korea was 30,000 feet over.
While the stories poured out,
God, yeah, I was in pilot training before I got in the Air Force.
Okay.
Same gunnery system as the B-29.
Yeah.
it wasn't just the sight of this B-29 that had Lyle's memory on replay.
It was really in good shape and smelled the same as they smelled 50, 60 years ago.
What's it smell like?
A B-29.
While Lyle spent more than 1,000 hours in a B-29, he says this is the first time he's been able to get this close.
I seen one at the Lakeland Air Show. They had one over there. And in fact, I got a picture of me standing beside it. That's as close as I wanted to get to it. I just couldn't do it.
But walking with him today,
It's been a long time.
it's an opportunity he knew he couldn't miss.
It's just one of those things I knew I had to do it. I just knew. I wanted to do it. I wanted to. Last chance. Yeah, oh.